Hi friends, welcome to NKL classes. My name is Naval Kishore Lodhi and today I am going to discuss about the various definitions of language and also about the various characteristics of language. I would like to inform you that if you want to join our regular course of IGNU from MEG 1 to MEG 5, then you can also contact me on 8800570162. That is my number. You can also send me a WhatsApp message regarding the same. Let's begin with the video. Here, as you are able to see on the whiteboard, I have written the three most important definitions of language. First definition is language is that system by which sounds and meanings are related. And this definition was given by Fromkin and Rodman in the year 1974. So according to this definition, what Fromkin and Rodman wanted to say is that language is a kind of system. Language is a kind of system in which all the sounds, whatever the sounds we make in our daily life are somehow related to their respective meaning. Like if I say this is a marker, so here I am pronouncing a particular sound, that is marker, and this sound has a special meaning which relates to a particular object. So it means according to this according to this definition, each and every sound whatever we make, most of those sounds are somehow related to a particular meaning, and hence it develops a kind of system. So this system is known as language. Now according to next definition, which was given in the Advanced Learner Dictionary in 1989, and according to this definition, language is a system of sounds, words, patterns, etc. used by humans to communicate thoughts and feelings. Means language is a system of sounds, words and patterns which is used by humans to communicate their respective thoughts and feelings. Means we all are human beings and we have certain emotions, we have certain thoughts, and if we would like to communicate our thoughts, our feelings, our opinions to someone else, then we will have to use a particular definite system of sounds and words. If we are using the written form of communication, then we have to use a particular system of words and patterns, and also we can use the sound system instead of words. So this is totally up to us what kind of system we need to use, what kind of system you want to use, but ultimately to express your emotions, to express your feelings, to communicate your ideas and opinions, you will have to use a system of sounds, and that's what they said in the dictionary. According to the next definition, which is given by Sapir in 1921, language is purely human and non-instinctive. Language is purely human and non-instinctive method of communicating ideas, emotions and desires. Why? Means of voluntarily produced symbols. So here what Sapir said is language is purely human, means this is a kind of very important facility which has been blessed to human only, because according to Sapir there are animals who are using these sound signals to communicate their messages, but they are not using the proper language, right? Animals also use the sound system, but they are not using the particular language. Keep in mind, this is the most important point of this definition. And another important point which Sapir described in his definition is this is non-instinctive, means it is not inborn. Means if a child is born, he is not born with the possession of language. He will have to learn it. he will have to understand it, he will have to acquire it after taking birth. So this is purely human, and also this is not instinctive. It means if a child is born, he is not born with the language, right? He does not know how to speak, he does not know how to communicate ideas, opinions, and feelings, right? So whatever he learns, it happens only after taking birth. And here these two characteristics has been defined by Sapir in his definition of language, and also these are used in communicating our ideas, emotions and desires by voluntarily produced symbols. Means what? Whenever we need something, we produce some kind of symbols, some kind of sound symbols, and whenever we do not need, we do not produce any symbol. But it is not that much compulsory that whenever we need anything, we would only be producing these sounds at that time only. We can also speak, we can also produce some kind of signals, even we do not need anything. So these were the three most important definitions of language given, and now I am going to tell you about the several characteristics of language which are quite helpful to all students for all kind of examinations, whether you are going to appear for your college or university examination, or if you are also preparing for any kind of competitive examination, this would be very helpful to you. So let's begin with the study of characteristics of language. There are several characteristics have been defined by different linguists from time to time. So here I am just going to mention some of the most important. Look, as I have already defined in the definitions of language that we use sound signals to communicate our ideas, opinions, feelings and emotions. So here in the language we are using the sound signals, right? This is the first characteristics of language. Next one is next one characteristics of language is arbitrariness. Arbitrariness basically means that there is no logical relationship between the signifier and the signified. Means if I am calling it duster, I can call it something else, right? I would like to give you an example from the Indian society. If I talk about the several words which are to be used in context or in reference whenever we call a girl, right? Girl means एक लड़की, and एक लड़की को हम बुंदेली लैंग्वेज में अगर कहें तो बुंदेली जो डायलेक्ट है, बुंदेली is a dialect to be used in the central India, and in the Bundeli dialect we use modi. Somehow in some parts of India we use बिटिया, कहीं पर कन्या कहा जाता है, कहीं पर कुछ और वर्ड्स छोरी कहा जाता है, कहीं पर और भी बहुत सारे वर्ड यूज किए जाते हैं. So here the thing is same, but they for that particular thing we are having several words, we are having several names for the same kind of object, for a same kind of thing. We are using different words. So here it defines that there is no logical relationship between the signifier and the signified. Next one, characteristics of language is need for learning, right? As I have already defined that language is not instinctive, right? It means you will have to acquire it after taking birth, so you will have to learn it. It does not automatically come to you. Next one is characteristics of language is displacement. According to this characteristics, specifically if I talk about the human beings, we are able to communicate all those happenings, we are able to communicate all those things which are not prevalent in the immediate environment. Like as I am able to see this word, I can describe it. I am able to see a cooler which is moving on and which is going on, which is in use, so I can describe it. And whatever the things I experienced in my whole life, I can tell you at this particular moment of time. But if I talk about the animals, they would not be able to communicate the happenings which they have experienced in past. So they would not be able to communicate all those things which they have experienced or observed if those things are not in the immediate environment, right? So this is called displacement. Now next characteristics of language is creativity. Look, we all human beings are capable to produce unnumbered sound signals to make to make someone understood of our feelings, our opinions, our thoughts, our emotions. But if I talk about the animals, they are having the finite number of finite number of messages, finite number of sound signal they can produce. If I talk about the cicada, is an insect which is having only 4 number of messages that a cicada can produce or can send to another one. And if I talk about the grasshopper, can only produce 6 kind of sound signals or messages. And I would like to emphasize here one more thing, that several researches have been conducted so far, and in all those researches there is one common thing being found, and that is that some animals like dolphin and birds are not capable of producing the new kind of sound signal which is not in their finite set. So here this is somehow called the creativity. Now next characteristics is patterning. Look, in each and every language, whether we are using Hindi, whether we are using English, Sanskrit, Urdu, or any language prevalent in the world, whatever language we are using a finite pattern. Like if we are writing cow, if we are writing COW, cow, it is having meaning. But if I write OCW, does it have any kind of meaning? If I write WOC, does it have any kind of meaning? No. These are not meaningful, right? It is meaningful only when a particular pattern is followed, and that is COW. It means guy. Cow means guy. So you will have to use a particular pattern in order to use language. Now the next characteristics of language is structure. You will have to use a particular structure as well in order to produce a meaning, a particular meaning. Like if I write So I have written a sentence over here. I call you Ramesh, right? So here if I write call I Ramesh you, is this having a proper meaning? Now look, all the students are taught about the rearranging of words or jumbling of words in the 10th standard. So in that particular rearranging or jumbling of words, we are taught about a particular structure. We are taught about a particular structure we will have to use in order to make the meaningful sentences. Otherwise, whatever the sentences we form would be incorrect according to English grammar. So you will have to understand and you will have to follow a particular set of structures in order to make your sentences meaningful. Now, next characteristics of language is reciprocity. Reciprocity means a human being is able to speak as well as a human being is also able to hear. So this is called the reciprocity of language. All the human beings are blessed with this particular feature. Even the animals as well, they can also produce the sound signals and they can also hear the same kind of sound. So this property or this characteristics is known as reciprocity. Next characteristics is rapid fading. Rapid fading means whatever I am uttering, whatever the sound I am uttering at this moment of time, you cannot listen it after 5 minutes. It will be faded away, right? It will fade away, and this particular feature or this particular characteristics is known as rapid fading. You will have to be present at the moment someone is speaking if you want to hear his her words. So this is rapid fading. Next one characteristics is spontaneous usage. Spontaneous usage means we are using language not only when we are in need, specifically like if I want to order a meal for me, in that case I use language. But whenever I do not need any kind of meal, in that particular moment as well I use language. Means in the journal parlance, we are also using the language where specifically for entertainment, for communicating our emotions, ideas, which are not that much important or that much of value as we have in the official work, in the formal things. So this is called spontaneous use. We use language spontaneously. Next one characteristics is turn taking. Means whenever two or more persons are having conversation with each other, then they would be taking some turn. Like if a person is speaking, then others will have to wait for their turn to speak. Like whenever if you have participated in any group discussion, you would have observed a particular thing that you will have to wait for your turn to speak about your opinions, whatever the things you would like to present or whatever opinions you would like to discuss or present to other team members or other group members you are having in that group. So you will have to wait for your turn if you want to speak, and that characteristics is known as turn taking. And the next one is complete feedback. Complete feedback means if a person is uttering some words, or when a person is producing some sound signal, at that time only, at that time, even at that time, he would also be able to listen the same sound signals that he or she is uttering. Like I am speaking, right? And whatever the words I am speaking, I am also able to hear my own words. So, and this particular characteristics is known as complete feedback. So these were all important characteristics of language I wanted to discuss. And once again I would like to request all of you to share this video to all your friends, and also would like to request you to like this video if you think suitable for yourself. And also, if you have not subscribed my channel yet, then please do subscribe my channel and share this as much as possible to you. Thank you guys.